Hi, so this is like a weird video for me to make. I don't normally make videos, I normally just do my stupid doodles on the internet, but I figured I would do a Dragalia Lost sort of account overview video. Just to sort of say, I played the game, I had a good time with it, and it would feel weird to not run through everything in sort of a recorded format. So, while I wait for it to load there, which is taking a lot longer than I thought it would. Maybe I should have loaded first. Whoopsies.
All eyes will be on
I kind of want to go through the... I know I can get that. I don't want to. I kind of want to go through the archive first, just because I feel like that is the most cumulative overview of my account. I've played the game a lot. I've been pretty much playing since day one. I've taken some breaks here and there, and in fact I've lost the account I started with, but that's besides the point. I didn't realize I don't use bows that much, but, well, I mean, yeah, that's kind of, but yeah, before I get sidetracked again, I just wanted to do all this because the game really does mean a lot to me. I started like day one when I started playing. I was just starting my first year of college, and I've since dropped a program, started another one, and I'm currently entering my third year of my second program now, which is really exciting. And it's just so bizarre to think that this game has been with me that whole time. I never really would have expected to get this involved with a mobile game. It's like, especially if you went back maybe 5-6 years and told me, hey, one of the most important games to you is going to be a mobile game that comes out in 2018, like, I probably wouldn't have believed you. But I mean, lo and behold, was kind of correct. So yeah, I'm just at my archive there now, and like you can see, I'm not missing many characters. Like, a lot more of the recent ones I'm missing. I don't have either Bond Forged character, which is kind of stings a little. I was kind of hoping to run through the final chapter of the game with both of them on my team, but I mean, it is what it is. I won't get too much into it because I don't want to spoil the final part of the game, but they do let you play as Bond Forged even if you don't have him for one of the quests, and then that was nice. That was very much nice. Yeah, but that was word vomit. Anyway, the point being is, I've played the game a lot. This game was kind of surreal to see it end. Like, the story wasn't perfect. In fact, I would consider it kind of mid anime story type beat, but that doesn't mean I didn't enjoy it. It's really sweet. It was endearing. It's endearing to see a story like that told with a lot of sincerity from the writers, and you could tell that a lot of care went into each character, even if some of them had their moments. Some had their moments that made me go, I don't like them very much, but I mean, what character doesn't really? Like, I think if you like a character all the time, it's not really written the best in my opinion, but that is just an opinion. But yeah, I'm not going to go through every single character and show the medals, because I never really cared much for the medals in this game to begin with. Like, I think they're just sort of a show of what units you use to overcome what challenge, and I think trying to not artificially, to like inflate your medal count on the characters isn't bad. I'm bad with words sometimes. I don't want to make people think that it's bad. I just think that it wasn't really for me. I wanted my medals to show what characters I used and not which ones, or not be sort of a number for me to focus on increasing, like a lot of other things in this game where, yeah, I will run through some of them. I will run through some of my faves that I wish I could have used more, and some of them that I've used a lot. Like, first one here, Naveed. I had Naveed for a while, but I didn't build him until, say, a little bit after Legend Volk, and I have used him a bit. I have used him for Legend Volk and a lot of other content in the game. He's just pretty versatile, and I think he's sweet. And you're gonna notice very quickly that a lot of these characters that I enjoy are men. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry at all. Armored Ichio, I didn't use her at all. Which sucks. I really liked Ichio's character, and I used her a lot when she first came out in Light, but she was just sort of one of those characters that I never really had a reason to build. But, you know, I wish I did. I wish I went back and used her, and I might, before the game actually closes completely, I might go back and try to get some clears using Armored Ichio and her base form. But, you know, not much to be done about it now. Valentine's Orion. He's got no medals at all, but he is completely built. I went through a phase at one point where I just wanted to build pretty much every character that I liked and character that I were interested in. And that died out pretty quickly because I started that phase at a point where I didn't really have the resources to throw around willy-nilly. It came back for a bit once I did get those resources. Like you'll see, I built a lot of 3-stars for no real reason other than I think they're neat. Nadine, I remember when Nadine came out and it was like a fight to not pull for her. I was really vibed with her whole character and story, and like I think she's sweet. She's really endearing. The event, I forget what the name of it is, but the event with her and Nefaria, that was just a really cute event, and I was really happy when she actually like spooked me on a pull. I forget who I was pulling for at the time, but it was a very good day for me. Elaine has a few medals. I've never really pushed him. I know, shout out to Renji, Renji the boy, who is pushed 3-star Lancers to insane limits. I am not Renji. I don't think I would ever have the patience to try and take units that are admittedly kind of bad, if not very bad, to Legend Agito and Legend Sindom. I like my sanity. I like my sanity a lot. Yeah, and I think that's it for fire. For water, I built Eugene. I never used Eugene, but I built him the moment I got him because again, I'm terrible for the names of the events, but the event with Eugene in it, like the summer festival one, that was a really sweet event. And I really related to Eugene a lot in that event, which I feel like a lot of people probably did, which is like understandable. But I really related to Eugene, and I really, really like him just because of that relation. One of the few characters that you'll see that wasn't aesthetically based and was sort of began to like him like the moment I finished reading the stories with him. So really fun, really, I enjoy Eugene. I wish he didn't get shafted by Curse of Nihility, which is like another can of worms. But, you know. Akasha, I'm going to skip over Halloween Akasha for now. I do really, really, really like Akasha. She, I like all of the Eldritch Trio, those are my favorites. But, I'll just tap on her when I get to her base version. Tiki was my first moment of, oh, maybe I'm entering my whale arc. I spent a lot of money to pull Tiki when she first came out. Spent a lot of money to get Tiki. This was before Sparking. So I did reach the price point where I would have been able to spark her, and then I cut myself off. And she came home on a free pull the next day, which was a gut punch. Because I was so sad because of all the money I just spent and like nothing to show for it. But then I got her in the end, and thank God I did, because she's on a lot of auto battle comps. And like back when people first started getting auto battle comps for Expert Tartarus, she was one of the units on them. And one of the things that I really hated about a lot of other gacha games is that grinding. This is actually why I dropped Fake Grand Order. The grinding had to be done manually, and I'm a busy person. I work, I'm in school, I draw, and like I draw for school, and I draw in my free time, and I have other games I want to play other than just Dragalia. But for a lot of, or not just Dragalia, other mobile games, and like games on my computer I want to play that aren't on my phone, and a lot of mobile games make you actively take part in the grind, which just gets really, really mindless really, really quickly. And Dragalia, base to Dragalia, made auto repeat and auto battle features from like day one, and like or not day one, but when they added auto repeat, like thank God they did, because when Fire Emblem Heroes added it and it was just a paid feature, that's when I dropped Fire Emblem Heroes. I still have it on my phone. I still play it a little bit, but I don't play it consistently, and I don't want that notification there. I don't play it consistently. I just pretty much show up and throw my orbs at whatever banner is interesting at the time and then leave. Continue on. You'll see a lot of the ones that have crowns, again, are bad units, but are units to slay, like Pietro, Rex, Jacob. I really like those guys. I wish they were better. I wish they got alts. At one point, I was a firm believer that they were gonna prioritize 3 and 4 stars for 5-star alts, but that quickly became not the case. Mona, I don't really care for Mona. I just wanted to give Mona a special mention for being the only Persona unit I ever pulled, and thank God it was Mona, because that 20% win boost is a drug. Thank you, Mona. I'm sure we would have gotten win boost on a free unit like we did for Sophie, where Sophie had win boost. Light boost, you know, because Peony had light boost and Peony was a collab limited, and then a few months later we got Persona and Sophie brought light boost, and I think we would have gotten win boost at the time later on, so I was kind of like debating skipping Mona, but I mean, points at the elephant of end of service in the room. I'm kind of glad I didn't skip Mona now, because I would have been pretty much fucked out of that ability. Leaf. I've used Leaf a lot. Leaf is my favorite, probably my favorite of the main cast. Or not main cast, but like story units. And I was very happy to pull him. I pulled him early on his banner, but I was kind of hoping to get spooked by, sorry if I pronounced this wrong, Juan Zhang before I pulled him, because I like the Journey to the East characters as well. And I was actually really disappointed when Wukong was our first event 5-star with convictions that wasn't like a story character. And I was really, really upset that he sucked. Still stings. Lathna, I will show both versions of Lathna. I really like Lathna. I really like the Eldritch Trio. I wish their event arc got some closure, but, you know, if Dragalia does get a revival at some point, I hope they expand more on Lathna and like and Kuran and Heinwald and Akasha and just the whole Eldritch Lovecraft event line. But I'm also kind of glad that it's not expanded on, because it sort of leaves a lot of fan room to sort of interpret and imagine and create there. Because I do still plan on creating Dragalia content after the game dies, but it's probably mainly just going to be the Eldritch Trio and Akasha. I don't know if you would say Eldritch Squad, I don't know. The point is, I really like them. They are one of the biggest reasons I stayed invested in this game for so long. And for Wind, I think that's it for Wind. There's no one really else in Wind that I have such a super strong attachment to. Joachim and Noelle are pretty close contenders. There's Akasha, I said I would tap on her. I didn't really use her either, even though I have her maxed out. I mainly have her maxed out for her shared skill. She was my first overdamage shared skill, because I didn't manage to pull Dragonule Lily. I got Dragonule Victor instead. That wasn't even sparking either. That was just how my pulls worked out. I didn't have enough to spark when I pulled in that banner either. I didn't get Sandalphon. I'm trying to think of what other overdamages there were. I didn't get Yukata Cassandra. Yeah, he was my first overdamage. So, shout out Eldritch Gang winning. Civilian Leaf, I did use him a bit. I did use him in Master Syndom, which might not have been the best choice. He's not the best unit. His kit is really revolved around a lot of outdated afflictions and a weird adaptive suppression on his strength. And that's just, you know, there's better things a unit could do, especially a light sword like Goofton over there. So, you know, it wasn't, and like, Yeah, just among light in general, there was a lot of strong contenders that could have taken a spot that I didn't. Karan, Yukata Karan, favorite character in the game, honestly. Uh, I'm a homosexual man. Let's be real. I think he's attractive. But, he's also the found family dynamic. It's probably one of my favorites. So him and Latna are just my faves. I was really sad Latna wasn't like a 4-star unit on his original banner, but they made it up next year by bringing her back as a 5-star. So you know, still little things. Valix. Valix is fun. I was really hoping to pull him and fairies, but again, I never really had a whole spark saved up, except for like around the New Year's one time, and even then whenever I pulled for a unit I got them really early, so like it just sort of whittled away at my spark. Audric, I miss him. I miss him a lot. He deserved better. Zubaj is nice. Linus was one of the units I built when I was going through that phase. Rysardo is my favorite apostle, which is saying a lot because I really like all of the apostles, but Rysardo is my favorite. I like her. I love that her whole like tail deal is just never explained. So she's quirky, she's fun. She's the moment. I think that might be it for light. Like there's Peony. Halloween Laxi. I was really sad I didn't pull Halloween Laxi. I really like Laxi and Mascula. I think they're fun. I think they're fun units. I think they're fun story-wise. And I do have a Reen. I don't have Finnel. But the androids are fun. Shadow Vice was the first unit I took from 3-star to 5-star. And this was like way before his spiral. And like I used him pretty consistently. But like as you'll see, no medals. A lot of the characters that don't have medals too are just sort of a result of the medals not being retroactive, but you know. That is what it is. Nah, I can't do nothing about that. Karan, Karan has a lot of medals. If you'll notice, he doesn't have Legend Syndom, because I never actually touched Legend Syndom. I didn't, there's more Kaleidoscope medals. I never even did the 64 Kaleidoscope. Sort of after they announced EoS, I sort of just stopped touching the game, because it just sort of made me sad. And I wanted to come back and finish story, and I did that this morning, and I woke up right away. I finished the story. Because I don't know when or if I'll actually upload this, but if I do, I'm recording this like on the 26th, like so you know. Vania was the unit I saved for after that. After they announced all the units they were adding in the future in that one Dragalia digest, Vania was the unit I was saving for. When I play Grand Blue, I still play Grand Blue, but I play it on and off. I'm a seasonal Grand Blue player for when the free pulls come out, and then I typically stick around for like a month after the free pulls end and keep playing it regularly, and then I just sort of stop because again, time sink. I have other games I want to play, but Vania is really fun. I love Vania a lot. I loved her in Grand Blue, and I was really excited to see her added here. And I that's one of the things I am kind of sad about Dragalia ending. Is I know a lot of people were excited to see their Rage of Bahamut and Grand Blue faves sort of enter Dragalia, but you know, I'm sure if things had worked out differently, they would have. But as it stands right now, we just have Vania and a cameo from Vite in the background. Vite's also cool. Yeah, but that's my encyclopedia. These are my bonuses that I had. I could really show a big bias towards Shadow as a whole, but that's just because Shadow was that element I could always build, and even then, and that would sometimes be like, yeah, I can just clear this other element quest with Shadow. Dragons, again, Shadow bias. I think I have every single Shadow Dragon. I'm not sure. I'm not going to bother tapping on any of the dragons to show. I was tempted to pull for Dragon Evil John when she came back one year, recently, just to finish out all my water dragons, but I didn't really mind. I never got Galavolk. Light, I have every single light dragon, not Shadow. Every single light dragon. And then Shadow, I'm only missing Bahamut. So, my Gala Dragon Link has never been great. I actually had to wail for Gala Mars. And then, like, a day after or like a few days after I wailed for Galamars, they announced end of service, and I sort of hit myself on the head because I kept saying the signs were there and I shouldn't spend, and then I did. But yeah, story is just events, so I don't really need to click on that. Weapons next. I want to go through my actual teams and units afterwards. Or not my units, just my teams actually. You've seen all my units. Yeah. So weapon wise, I don't actually have all the core weapon bonuses, I believe. Yeah, the case in point, I never use blades that often, so I never bothered with the blade weapon bonuses. I did get started with the fire blade there, but I just never followed through with it. Daggers are completely done. Axes are completely done. Lances are completely done. Bows are, I think bows are like almost done. Are not actually. I'm just looking at that fire bow. That's not even max unbound. Wands, I'm pretty sure are completely done. Staffs are completely done. Staff was the first weapon bonus I completely maxed out for every weapon. And I just figured, you know, because I pretty much run a healer on every team, it was the best investment at the time. Because again, I started weapon bonuses at a time where I didn't really have a lot of resources to throw around. And then mana casters have not even touched. Okay. Pausing it right here to go grab something. Where there's just nothing out. But, you know, my brain is kind of small sometimes. Anyway, back to the weapons. I'm pretty sure I have every single void weapon bonus. Yeah, every single void weapon is finished. I just sort of went at it and did 99 runs of every single quest one day when there was a bunch of drop rates up. So I just did every single void weapon that day. Chimera Tech is in the same boat, but mainly because the Chimera Tech weapons are butt easy to craft. You'll notice I just stopped a lot as soon as I got the weapon bonus. Because I did most of my weapon bonus grinding. When they added weapon bonuses, actually, I was already at the Agito weapons for pretty much every single weapon type. So I just said, you know, I'm not going to bother to use resources to upgrade these fully when I can just leave them. High Dragons, I think, are completely done. I'll have to... Yeah, no, they're not. Again, you'll see that like the weapon types I don't really play or use are typically the stragglers in terms of my weapon bonuses. And like the guns are not immune, but I can go through all the weapon bonuses at the end actually. Agito is completely done, I believe. Yeah, I got the Agito completely finished. Like, you know, hindsight 2020, like if I knew they were gonna give out all those materials the other day, I probably wouldn't have. But then again, I kind of didn't want to use any of those materials to begin with. I kind of wanted to just sort of leave my account as sort of a snapshot of where it was when I stopped playing. And like, I honestly, like, I stopped playing the day they announced end of service. It was just really hard to find a reason to keep doing anything in the game. But, you know, I could go on. I could go on about how Dragalia had issues and how it's, like, the end of service announcement time was really shitty. I could go on about a lot of things about that, but I don't want to make a video that focuses on the negatives of Dragalia and what I think they did wrong. I kind of just want to celebrate what it was, because it meant a lot to me. Primal Dragon weapons, if you'll remember, they added like Primal Dragon trials just before, and most of them were added after end of service. So if you'll notice, the ones that I have finished are the Midgard weapons for the weapons that I used at the time. For the wind units I used, I should say. I did the sword first for Leaf, and I did the dagger for Knot, and I did the wand for Basilius, and then I did the staff, which was the last work in progress for the next 8 Onbinds, which was the work in progress for Lowen. Then other weapons are the Mega Man weapons, the soldier weapons. They never did bring back Mega Man, did they? I guess he is an anomaly in a lot of people's unit boxes right now. But Dragalia, Smash Brothers, I'll never forget. Marth, Mega Man, Chrom, and Joker. My god. What a time. Castle Grounds. So I tried to keep my castle organized by element. So if you'll notice the dojos here, I believe everything should be maxed out here. The dojos that are with fire are typically ones that were upgraded with the fire insignias. Same thing with wind. You know, I tried to keep everything organized, and any blank one space spots I would just fill with the decorative items. Just because I didn't like the idea of having blank space. I wanted to use up every single inch, and then down here, I don't even know what you would put here other than decoration. Because I'm pretty sure that I have every single faculty in the game. I don't have them all maxed out. I don't have the ruby mines maxed out, I believe, but let's check. Yeah. Pretty much everything is maxed out as high as it can go for the faculties. Managed faculties, that's where I want to go to check, yeah. Yeah, my ruby mines aren't maxed out. They're missing, like, I'm missing some tier 2 drops. Adventurous stuff. Oh, I didn't finish upgrading the trees, actually. Oh. Yeah, I was orb gated. Okay, but yeah, those are the last trees I have to upgrade. Those aren't even trees, they're altars. Oh my god, I'm blind. But yeah, those are the last things I have to upgrade, and I don't, again, like, I don't plan on it. I don't see a reason to at this point. Dragon stuff is all maxed out. Decorative stuff. Yeah, everything is as high as I could have gotten it before I stopped. I could have grinded out the last little bit to upgrade my altars all the way, but I just didn't. I was just tired. That's the teams. I'm gonna go through the teams. That's the team I was using to do the main story this morning. So teams, I want to go through these teams first. These are just the ones I use for main story, actually. I use these for main story and, like, events. And I just sort of put units I liked on them with some units that were just really, really good. Because the units I like aren't always the best. So, you know, for this team we had a lane who is pretty close to 13k. I might try to push him to 13k before the game shuts down, but I mean, this is still a pretty high number for a 3-star unit. Yeah, so you'll notice the captains of teams aren't always optimal, but again, it's just playing with units I like. Karan, favorite, he's gotten the most love out of all the units I play, I think, in terms of just how much playtime I have on him, how many resources I put towards him just to make him stronger. Like, when we first got when Cayenne first came out, like, the axe was the first weapon I made, and, like, the moment I got my first master difficulty clear, I just immediately used the first clear bonus to build the axe when I really should have done it on the dagger to make my next clears easier with Belina, but you know, Blorbo effect. Yukimura, I do want to give such a bunch to Yukimura. I actually did spark her on the New Year's banner just because I was 100 summons away after the free summons, I think, or however far I was after the free summons, and I had, like, over 300 summons saved up, so I said, you know, might as well just go all the way with it. Light, you'll notice I have the top 3 Blorbos here. I'm going to move Karan to the front just so he's got that might boost, but Yukata Karan was the other unit who I put all of my resources into. Again, Karan was my favorite. I like him a lot. Yeah, and then Civ Leaf. He was actually really fun to pull. Not because there was a fun pulling experience. I went completely broke on my orbs, and I didn't pull him or Cecile. And I remembered I had one Endeavor left in the... Or not Endeavor, but I had, like, the points to grind out left in the second Fire Emblem collab in the Compendium. And on those 5 tickets, I got 1 5-star, and it was the last one that was a 5-star, and it was Civilian Leaf, and it was... I was overjoyed. Oh my god, I remember I pulled him working night shift at Dominion, a grocery store, and it just made the rest of my night. I was just happy for the rest of the night. Yeah, Light is definitely stacked in terms of dragons as well. So, shout out to Valix for making Thor an actual good dragon again, when he was really shitty before. Water, again, you'll notice, Jacob and Rex are not good units. In fact, they're pretty bad. Orgia's here because I had to max out her friendship. I didn't bother to put the person who was there back. I believe it was either Tiki or Mascula there before. Let's get Orgia there. I don't know why Rex is high Brunhilde. I wouldn't be able to tell you. I have two fully maxed out BCLs. I don't know why he has high Brunhilde. Anyway. Wind I was really lucky on. All of my favorites were really, really good. Like Noelle, Lathna, Basilius, and Leaf, who's also really high might now thanks to his Spiral. Spiral, which was generally really good because the only thing he didn't have in his kit was Dispels, I believe. Yeah, the only thing he didn't have in his base kit was like a Dispel. So they really went all in on him. And if you'll notice from my Pulse Rikimara, I do have 2 maxed out Fudomios. No, I don't want to talk about it. And this is just what I used for Morseati. And yeah, he was the only Elementalist quest that I had any difficulty with. I don't have any difficulty now. I could probably clear it with like any of the units I wanted to build. But like the team I used at the time was Mim, Summer Verica. Who else was on the team? Kuron was on that team because that's when I was using him on pretty much any team. I had an excuse to use him on, and his defense down was nice. And Delphi for the poison enable. Next up, these are just the teams I used for fire content. This is the just general any fire content in the game team. Use this team. So Exodia, yeah, this is the one I used when I wanted money, which is literally just the last team, but everyone has a Fafnir instead. This was for my. These are now all sort of auto battle teams. They used to be. I used to have a bunch of different teams here in my element sections for co-op, and then eventually I just stopped playing co-op because was at the point where I could auto battle everything. So this is auto battle for primal mids, which wasn't 100% consistent, but it was there. This was auto battle for Gel de Beat. This is auto battle for normal Midgard Sommer when that was an issue. It's not an issue now, but. And this is my Volk auto team, which is ironically the least consistent out of all of them, just because Lowen dies so easily. Next up is my water teams. This one's still a co-op team. If you'll notice, the name is Mercury because I used to use Humanoid Mercury in co-op, and I didn't bother to update the name when I switched to Summer Ieyasu. Summer Ieyasu is really fun. I really like the sort of 3 skills in a row effect of a skill 1. It's really nice for iframes. This is the water money. Because everyone's a Fafnir. This is the Primal Hilda auto. This was Water Dominion auto. Because I had made some of these before we actually had the names of the characters. Like, threw together a Water Dominion team before we got Surtur. Just to sort of like look at what I had as units and so on. But, you know, I did actually tweak this for my first creation of the team because obviously my first attempt at blindly building an auto team didn't work. This was for normal Brunhilde auto, and then this is for the Agito and, you know, auto Han Ayaha. Next up is a Wind. This, I don't know why this team is called Zephyr. I really don't know what to tell you. Maybe I was a Manifest in Gala Zephyr. I don't know. But this was just my go-to Wind team for difficult content. Which is the only difference here is that there's Not instead of Lathna, because Not is just too good. Wind money, I used to grind Standard or Expert Ciela for money, because I needed to grind Ciela a lot. She was one of the Agitos that I was the last one to finish. So I just sort of used my Ciela auto team with a more safer version, and I gave everyone Fafnirs instead of Damage Dragons. This is the Primal Mercury team. This was never an auto, I think. Yeah, if you'll notice, this isn't even like a fully built team. This is just like when I was setting them up for just content in general, not really autoing. Wind Dominion auto, normal Mercury auto, and Ciela auto. Next up is Light. This is Husband. This is just my co-op team. It's probably what my other one was, actually, now that I think about it, for the fire. Just swapping out which unit was in the lead. This is my co-op team. If you'll notice, it's called Husband, because units I would switch out on this are Leaf, Kuron, Yukata Kuron, and Valix. This is the light money team. Like, there's Kuron again. Be prepared to see him a lot. This is my Primal Zodiac team. Again, this was the team I built not for auto. This was way before Primal Zodiac actually came out. This is a team I just built to do him day one. Again, Karan was there because of course he was. And then I never did because I wasn't really playing when he came out, and I don't really plan on visiting any of the Primal Dragons that I haven't yet. This is the Lilith auto team. Valix made this a lot quicker. And this was the normal Zodiac auto and Tartarus auto. If you'll notice, Tiki and Grace are still there. Even though Tiki is really outdated for this type of team now, it's still consistent, so I just never felt the need to update it. Last up is the Dark teams, and this is when I called Vania because I used to use Vania in co-op, and then I switched it back to Karan because the simp. I'm a simp, I'm sorry. This is the Dark Money team. This is a Primal Jupiter team, which never saw any use. This was the Sura Expert Auto. If you notice, Karan is not here, and it's Padia instead, because Padia is just kind of better. Jupiter Auto, which Jupiter Auto isn't hard. I don't know where they're missing their augments, but it really doesn't matter. They can still do normal Jupiter easily. And then Cayenne Auto, which is just... Cayenne Auto is kind of inconsistent at higher difficulties, but that's just because his attacks are basically nukes. And then I'm not going to bother going through these, but these are just the teams I set up for Legend Zindom, which I didn't end up touching. And then there's Elementalist Money, which is just a money team that I use when I don't. The quest doesn't really have an element, which isn't really common anymore, but there it is. And then this is the other half of my Legend Zindom teams, where it's for the phase 2 of the fights. But again, they didn't see any use. And there's the all-around events team I used earlier. And then number 9 is the stuff I used for Legend Agito. These are what I got my first clears with, except for the top one. The top one, actually no, none of these I got my first clears with. Except for maybe Water is what I got my first clear with, Water. But these are just ones I used for Legend Agito because, you know, they're not super hard now because of power creep. But they still do need some team building behind them to handle the mechanics. So. And then Blorbos. My Blorbo team. Rysarda is there. I would have put the second Karan, but you can't put 2 of the same units on the team, so I shout out to Rysarda. Yeah, and then lastly, I think I just want to end this video by doing 2 summons. My last summons, I'm probably going to uninstall this game there now, actually, which is kind of a scary thought, but I'm going to do my last 2 summons, see if I get anything good, and then call it there. I thought this video was going to be like 10 minutes, but it's been 40. Yeah, that is... They love to rub the salt in your wound, huh? Really, really pushing it. Oh, okay, that's enough of that. 3 Rexes, okay. Next one. Give me a 5-star to end my time with the game, please. I think that'd be sweet. Thank you. Yeah. No, I mean, this game means a lot to me. You know, I'm not gonna forget it. I'm thinking at some point I might get a tattoo of a Dragalia character or something, but you know, this game was a lot to me in a time of my life that was pretty dark, so it was very bittersweet to see it go. And hey, Yellow Mice, our Reborn Agni. That is normal Agni. Thank you. Thank you, Dragalia. Well, I have 2 more singles left. I have 2 more singles, so. See if I get anything from these. Survey says no. Yeah, expected. But yeah, you know, anyone actually watched this far into what is essentially just me vomiting words into my computer. Thanks. You know, this is really just a video I want to upload for me rather than anything else, just to sort of archive of my Dragalia account. But I'm gonna miss this game. I've been playing World Flipper, I've been playing Cookie Run again, been dabbling in a bit of Fire Emblem. But you know, I don't think I'll ever get invested into a mobile game as much as I was Dragalia, so
This world
you know.
is a delight of its own kind.
I'm sad. I'm sad. I'm just word vomiting because I'm sad and I don't know how to end this video, but I mean, thanks for watching if you're here, and if you're not, it's fine too.
Though the places we